Hey everyone, welcome back to OptimizEvony. I wanted to do a quick video for you guys today, talk about some of the most recent updates that came out, and some exciting stuff that's coming up. Um, so last night, Evony gave us a mail about about a new general. So first of all, let's take a look at the general. It's I need to find him quick. I didn't actually look at him too in depth yet, but it's basically a wall gen. It's an interesting wall gen. And I not here. Okay. I'm assuming maybe in the other category, because I think it was, yeah, this Lotaro guy. Um, so his skill is in-city ground troop and mount troop attack, and in-city ground troop defense and HP by 20% when the general is the main city defense general. So that's pretty good. It would have been, I think he would have been phenomenal if he was 25% ground troop attack and mount troop attack, and then in-city mount troop defense and HP by 20%, because everyone's always trying to get more mount, but he's not. He's ground, and but his skills are mount based, which are interesting. And then this one, never a big fan of wall gens or uh, other PvP gens that have a debuff here. Really, you want to keep these debuffs to your sub cities, and it's really just taking away some buffs that you could have here for a second slot there, because that's usually an attack slot. So like sometimes it's like in city siege and archers attack or something like that. Then Ares, and then this one's actually really good. So ground troop and mount troop attack 20%, ground troop defense 30%, and mount troop HP 30%. So that's really solid. His ascensions are kind of interesting. This is basically like the duty general, so still pretty good. And then debuff as a second one in addition to the hospital capacity. So that one's kind of interesting. And then ground troop and mount troop attack again. Uh, debuff again, ground troop and mount troop attack debuff, and in-city siege machine attack, and then kind of a whole bunch of stuff for the third one. So he's kind of an interesting general. I'm not sure how he's really going to shape up, but you're going to need him. And the reason you're going to need him is because Evony announced that we had kind of been thinking that they were going to and expand the general hall too, because they had added this next row here, but there was nothing else that kind of went with this. So when they released Alessandra and Ludwig, they added this row, and so now they added three additional rows here. So total of four additional rows that weren't there initially when they launched General Hall 2. Lots of generals that you're going to need to get. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that it's kind of obnoxious because you really want to get these things. There's some good stuff like premium general token. That one's great. But the main reason that you actually want to get this is because they added another art treasure here, and that's the Laurel Wreath. And the Laurel Wreath has in-city siege machine attack, defense, and HP. So this is really going to help defending against siege solos and siege rallies. And so for pretty much all players, but particularly bigger players that have a ton of troops, you're going to be hit with a lot of siege rallies. And so getting that getting all of these stats up really is going to help, particularly the HP. and kind of the defense. I mean, really all of them, like I said. And then, so this is level 1. It will go up 25, 33, 50, 75, and finally the level 6 is 110% for all of these. So these are going to massively increase people's buffs. It'll take a long time for players that aren't massive coiners to get to this level, but I mean, people who are able to unlock that kind of tree in General Hall 2 can get some of these nice buffs right away, and it's not too hard to unlock like level 2, even level 3. I have not coined a single cent for these art treasures, and I'm almost to level 3 since it's released. And let's look at the activation requirements. So basically, all four of those new ones. So uh, great, thanks, Evony. There's a lot of generals that are a little bit harder to get. So I do have quite a few of them, but I'm missing some kind of tricky ones. This guy just Harold, I have no desire to get him besides this. But the new guy here is in this one, so you're definitely going to want to get him when you can. Mark Anthony, one probably the best subgen right now. Um, you need to get him for there. Zhao, one of the one of the better mount gens right now, and then all of these guys as well. And yeah, some of these guys I just got lucky with. So, um, and then for some reason, this guy, which I believe is in the tavern, so uh, that lucked out. But yeah, I mean it's still tricky. I still have a ways to go on my General Hall 2. I'll probably have to prioritize some of those for the Blood of Ares consumption and stuff like that when I can. Or kind of the new thing is they did announce that for the general portrait exhibition, this happens typically in between events. So like every 2 weeks or whenever the event ends, it's kind of those in between days, and so it'll last for like a couple days, and you'll basically take these general tokens and redeem them for either common generals. Don't do that. There's pretty much nobody in here that you can't get from the tavern. I don't think. Yeah, I think all of these people are you can get from the tavern, so don't spend it on this. Like that's super not worth it. Even this one, General Hall 1, I think there's only a couple that you can't get from the tavern. So I think Napoleon you can't get from the tavern. And then that's Shahar you can't get from the tavern. But you can get fragments from the tavern there, and then Rage King. If you haven't gotten Rage King, I guess you can use this to try and get it. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend that. But what you might want to do is get the General Hall 2 Historic General. So this will give you a chance to get all of the all of the generals that are in General Hall 2, including the new ones. And basically, what they said is that there's each time that it announces, there's going to be a greater chance to get four of the generals um, than the rest of them. So you can see that these ones are at 6.58% for these four: Zhao, Serena, Yeon, and Laturo. Um, those all have 6.58%, whereas the other ones have 2.63. So it's not massive. It's not quite as big as like the general summiting events that they have or anything like that. But particularly if you need a number of these ones, and if you need a number of these ones. So for example, the only one that I have is Serena here. The rest of them of these four I need. So the other three I need, and so I would maybe get this. I probably won't have enough tokens, but that's fine. Or you can get one of the other ones that you still need because I still need a bunch. I so This is probably what I would do unless you happen to have the general that you're actually looking to get as one of these generals that you can actually get for a specific number of general tokens. So for example, Simeon or Serena here. So if you don't have a Serena, you can get it for cheaper than the General Hall 2 pack, or even Zhao you can get for the same amount. So if you only need Zhao, or Zhao is one of the only ones that you really need, you can get one there as well. You can get a Leo. Leo's always good. I still think he's a really, really great defense gen. I would not recommend doing any of these things unless you really don't need any of the generals. But yeah, so you'll kind of, I guess we'll kind of have to see like which ones they kind of pick for the higher chances and kind of save them for when you actually want to, or when you actually think that um, that that you have a pretty good chance of getting some of the ones that you actually need. But it is another meta that you can use to try and kind of optimize and get those generals that you need to unlock those buffs, because those buffs are quite frankly really good. So I do want to just check something. I have a couple general tokens here, and I'm curious to see if the percentages have been updated to reflect kind of those chances as well. So nope, it looks like it's still Zucca is the high chance general. Yeah, if you didn't know, you can actually click on these things now and click on detail and see the chances, and you can see what percent chance you actually have at getting some of these generals. So if you really want to get a certain general, I would actually recommend that you save up your tokens until they release a general that you really want, and then let's say you have these premium tokens. I think I actually got that one from upgrading Helen or something like that. But you can wait until they're the general, or you can wait until they release that general, and typically they have a higher chance during that event. And so uh, this is basically like 1 in 5, a little bit less than 1 in 5 uh, are going to open and give you this. And I think they basically during the general opening event or whatever, they guarantee that you get it in 1 in 5. If you haven't gotten it in 4 tries, you'll get it on the fifth try. But yeah, that's one way to really get the generals that you want. Otherwise, the chances are get so low. So like if we look at just like all of the epic historic generals, zero point 0.7 chance to get a particular general that you want. That's so low. Like it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm basically going to try and save up general tokens now to try and get the generals that I need. Because yeah, I really want to unlock some of those buffs and stuff like that. The other thing that did actually come back that I'm excited for again, it's temper your expectations, but the good Civ treasure wheel that you can actually get some stuff for free is back, and it has basically the same structure as before. So you will get to, I think you'll for sure get to this reward block for free. So you'll get 2 fragments of the uh, free free gear, and so if you're close to getting some of those, you can get those for sure. I'm kind of waiting and saving them up to get whatever gear I need at the point where I get to 30 of these. I'll probably wait and see if I can get like either the new siege ring or maybe the new siege helmet, or one of those things that I kind of need. Um, I'm really probably going to focus on Siege because really I Siege is so powerful right now, and um, I think it's going to continue to be powerful. They are trying to, seems like, effectively debuff it a little bit by adding Siege, HP and defense debuffs in subgens, and also adding that new art treasure that has those in-city siege buffs. but ultimately it's still gonna wreck. I mean, you see reports on big players like Singh or even Philip or people like that, and you're still taking off. You're still coming out positive on a big siege rally if you have good buffs and a big rally. So uh, definitely worth investing in siege. Particularly if you're at that stage of the game. If you're still a very new player, I would not invest super heavily in siege until you've kind of built up your base generals because it'll probably be a little bit before you use it. But yeah, I mean, it's the chances aren't phenomenal. I think they're basically about the same as before, less than a zero point 0.5 chance to get a supremacy fragment, and a 3% chance to get a conquest fragment. But it is worth it for people who are close. And I think you can get to this like 100 times by buying like one of the packs. You won't get it for free, but you can get it for one of the packs. It looks like they have a $10 pack and a $100 pack. But I'm never gonna advocate buying packs. So do what you want though. If you're super close, like if you have one fragment left on something that you really need, it might be worth it for you. Or you might just wait until you get lucky and it lands on this elusive uh, scroll. So. That's kind of all I had for you guys today. It's in between an event, so it's kind of boring and small tiles and less bosses and stuff like that. So uh, I usually try and use this time to get a little bit of a break from Evony, but with this, you have to do some farming and boss hitting and stuff like that. So make sure you do capitalize on this. It is something that they are giving you essentially for free, um, and it'll help, particularly those who haven't made it to keep 36 yet. You getting a piece or two of Civ gear will help a lot with those general power requirements. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and as always, please do remember to like and subscribe. Helps me out a ton.